I want you to picture the moment before everything changes. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, heart pounding, the wind whipping around you, and you know there's no turning back. That's the feeling I got the first time I saw the trailer for this movie. It wasn't just another action comedy, it felt like an invitation to chaos wrapped in a wedding dress. And man, did it deliver chaos. Let me take you inside the story, the twists, the highs, the lows, and why this not quite pitch-perfect reunion hits us in a way we didn't expect. From the opening shot, it's clear we're not in for a typical rom-com. There's no gentle acoustic guitar playing over sunlit meadows. Instead, we jump right into bullets flying, tuxedos ripping, and bridesmaids sprinting through hallways like a scene out of Die Hard. You can almost taste the adrenaline. You can feel the panic. But under all that, there's something familiar, a friendship that's been tested by time, secrets, and the kind of loyalty you only find when you've known someone since you were kids. Let me break it down for you. First, we meet Sam, played by Rebel Wilson, who's swapped her sorority days for top-secret missions. She's fearless, funny, and so good at what she does that most of us would be completely terrified. Second, we have Betsy, played by Anna Camp, the childhood friend who's traded spy gadgets for wedding plans. She's organized her entire life down to the last cupcake, and she expects nothing less for her big day. Third, there's the supporting crew: Anna Chlumsky, Davina Joy Randolph, Gigi Zimbato, all ready to bring laughs, tears, and maybe a bit of chaos of their own. Here's the thing, the heart of this movie isn't the explosions, even though there are plenty. It's the friendship at its core. Sam and Betsy have history. They grew up on the same street, shared secrets, scraped knees, and endless sleepovers. But time pulled them apart, Sam off saving the world, Betsy planning the perfect wedding. When they reunite, the spark is still there, but so are the cracks. Trust has to be rebuilt, and that's a journey we feel with every punch, every joke, and every near miss. Imagine being at your best friend's wedding, doing your duty as maid of honor, only to realize you're out of your depth. You're standing in a beautiful gown, clutching a bouquet, and suddenly you're fighting off mercenaries with a curling iron. That's exactly where Sam finds herself, thrown into chaotic combat in heels and a ball gown. It's hilarious, it's terrifying, and it's oddly moving to see someone try to protect the people they love with everything they've got. Let me break it down again, this time in pure emotional terms. 1. You feel Sam's panic when she hears gunfire instead of wedding bells. 2. You feel Betsy's betrayal when she thinks her friend ghosted her at the bachelorette party. 3. You feel the relief that washes over both of them when they realize they have no choice but to trust each other. And that trust, once broken, comes rushing back in the most beautiful way through shared danger and shared laughter. There's a sequence about halfway through where they're trapped in the reception hall, surrounded by armed men. The music cuts out. The chatter stops. And all you hear is their breathing. That moment drags you so deep into their heads you forget you're watching a movie. You're right there with them, hearts racing, minds spinning. You want them to make it out. You need them to make it out. And when they do, when they lean on each other, scheme a daring escape, and burst through the doors, you cheer like you're a part of the crowd. But the magic isn't just in the action. It's in the little moments: Sam improvising weapons from lipstick tubes, Betsy using her veil to jam the doors, the bridesmaids forming a protective ring around the cake table. Those tiny sparks of creativity and teamwork remind you why we love friendship stories. They remind us that when the world goes sideways, the people we choose to stand beside us make all the difference. Now, if you're anything like me, you want to know what sets this film apart from every other wedding gone wrong flick. I'll tell you, it's the balance. There's just enough comedy to keep you laughing, just enough drama to keep you on edge, and just enough heart to keep you rooting for these women. And sure, Rebel Wilson brings her signature charm, but Anna Camp matches her step for step, line for line. Their chemistry isn't forced, it's true. It's like they picked up right where they left off in Pitch Perfect, except now they're dodging sniper fire instead of hitting high notes. Let me break it down one last time, in terms of pure entertainment value. 1. The fight choreography is slick, inventive, and often hilarious. 2. The script gives everyone a moment to shine, whether it's a witty one-liner or a surprising twist of loyalty. 3. The pace never lets up, you're in and out in just the right amount of time, leaving you breathless and satisfied, but also wanting more. And here's the thing about wanting more: after the credits roll, you'll be talking about this movie for days. You'll text your friends, "Did you see that wedding cake explosion?" You'll quote your favorite lines around the dinner table. You'll feel like part of a community that's seen something wild together. That shared excitement is exactly what a great movie does. It becomes an experience. So here's where I need you: if you've ever had a friend you'd cross a battlefield for, if you've ever laughed so hard you cried, if you've ever felt your heart race at the perfect blend of humor and danger, then this movie is for you. Hit that like button if you've ever been the maid of honor or the one who wound up fighting off bad guys. Subscribe if you want to see more breakdowns that mix action, comedy, and all-out emotion. And drop a comment below telling me which scene you think is the ultimate showstopper. Because here's the truth, we're a community of movie lovers who crave more than popcorn. We crave connection. We crave moments that make us feel alive, seen, and part of something bigger. And when a film comes along that nails that feeling, when it reminds us how powerful friendship is, how laughter can coexist with danger, and how love can fuel the fiercest battles, we owe it to ourselves to celebrate it. So join me. Let's make this our next movie night. Let's cue up the action, pop the snacks, and settle in to watch these two best friends remind us that even in the darkest moments, there's always a way out, especially if you've got someone watching your back. Because that's more than a plot twist. That's life. And if this movie teaches us anything, it's that every moment counts. Every laugh, every tear, every heartbeat. So press play, strap in, and get ready to feel everything, because this ride isn't over until the last bullet drops. Listen, I know you've felt that rush when your heart skips a beat because something you never saw coming just blew your mind. That's exactly what happens when Sam realizes that people she loves are in real danger and she's the only one who can save them. Picture her hiding behind a toppled buffet table, scavenging for anything she can use as a weapon. She's scared, she's sweaty, and yet there's this fire in her eyes you can't ignore. It's that moment when fear turns into focus, and you remember that you're capable of so much more than you ever thought. It's the kind of scene that makes you lean forward in your seat and whisper, "You got this," even though you're rooting for her on the screen. Then there's Betsy, whose calm, collected wedding planner persona shatters in the best way possible. One second she's fussing over the perfect flower arrangement, the next she's ducking behind pillars while her own cake crumbles under bullets. It's messy, it's real, and it makes you remember every time you thought you had life under control only to have it flip upside down. You catch yourself thinking, "I'd never handle that." But deep down, you know you would. You'd scrap together every ounce of courage, just like she does. And isn't that why we love movies? Because they remind us of who we can be when everything is on the line. Let me break it down for you one more time, because sometimes we need a little list to make sense of the chaos. 1. Friendship tested by fire becomes unbreakable. 2. Ordinary moments like cutting the cake or throwing the bouquet become epic battles of survival. 3. Every laugh, scream, and tear feels earned because you've lived those little moments yourself, just not with machine guns. See? You're already part of the story. By the time you reach the third act, the stakes skyrocket. Sam and Betsy have patched things up enough to work together, but now they're racing the clock. There's a hostage situation in the church basement, and the bad guys have booby-trapped the whole place. It's tense. It's nail-biting. And it's exactly when the film pulls off its greatest trick. It makes you care about the extras, the caterers, the DJ, even that random aunt you never met. Because in a truly great action comedy, every character matters. Everyone has a moment to shine, even if it's a tiny one, and that inclusivity makes the victory feel way bigger. You know those movies where someone looks you in the eye and delivers a line that hits you right in the chest? This one has a moment like that. Sam pauses, pizza box in hand because they've used everything as cover, and she says, "I'm not just your maid of honor. I'm your sister." Boom. That one line ties everything together. It's the kind of emotional punctuation that sticks, like a quote you'll text to your best friend later. It reminds us that titles don't define relationships, actions do. And action? Oh, it delivers. The final showdown is a tightrope walk between caricature and cinema-quality choreography. There's a sequence involving a malfunctioning chandelier, a crossbow, and a half-eaten wedding cake that somehow becomes a makeshift shield. It's hilarious, it's intense, and it's exactly the kind of inventive set piece you talk about long after leaving the theater. You'll find yourself describing it in excruciating detail to anyone who will listen, and they'll laugh like they know exactly what you mean. But here's the real kicker: after the last bad guy is down and the final notes of that triumphant soundtrack swell, the movie doesn't just roll credits and leave you hanging. There's a quiet epilogue. Sam and Betsy stand in the wreckage of a once perfect wedding, their dresses torn, faces bruised, but hearts full. They share a laugh, a hug, and you feel something warm spread through your chest. It's that bittersweet knowing that real life isn't neat, but the people who stand by you can make all the mess worth it. Before you click away, I want you to think back on your own life's chaos: the jobs you've lost, the plans that went sideways, the friendships you've almost let slip away. This film says loud and clear, those moments don't define you. The way you rise up does. And that's the secret movie magic we crave, not just explosions and one-liners, but the reminder that we're tougher, braver, and more capable than we give ourselves credit for. So here's what I want you to do right now. If you're watching this and you felt that spark of hell yes, slam that like button like you're smashing a wedding cake buttress. Hit subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into stories that shake you up and lift you higher. And most importantly, drop a comment sharing the moment that showed you who you really are, the time you improvised when plans fell apart, the time you stood by a friend when everything went wrong, the time you realized you had more fight in you than you ever thought. Let's build this community of warriors, of survivors, of friends who have each other's backs no matter what. Because at the end of the day, movies are more than just flickering images on a screen. They're a mirror. They're a call to action. They're an invitation to believe in ourselves and each other. And if you take nothing else away from today's breakdown, let it be this: life's a battlefield, but you're never truly alone. You've got your own secret agent skills waiting to surface. You've got friends who would charge into the fray for you. You've got the power to turn chaos into triumph. So go stand on that cliff edge, feel that wind, and jump, because the only way to know how strong you are is to find out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the other side of the adventure.